everyone, how's it going? Welcome to another episode of Reel Me In, a movie podcast, where you didn't really ask for it, but hey, I'm going to give it to you anyways. I am Chase Lee, and this is where we talk about anything, everything, any other type of word about movies. So this week is a very stacked show. Guys, the Oscars came out. The Oscar nominations on Thursday, they hit. I woke up like a sad soul that loves movies, and I listened to it live like a sad soul. And there were some shocks. There were some snubs. But typically, it was the majority of the nominations from the Golden Globes, so I wasn't too shocked about most of them. But, guys, I'm not going to do this by myself, because do you really want to listen to my voice travel into your ear canal and scratch the hell out of your eardrums? I don't think you want that. So I brought a guest this week. And this is the first time he has been on. So if you like him, which I'm sure you will, because he's a cool guy, that's why I invited him on. This is Terence Page. And a little backstory. I found... Terence, how did we meet? It was on YouTube, right?
Yeah, we met on YouTube. I think you subscribed to me, and I subscribed to you.
Yeah.
And met on Facebook, and ever since then, been uphill.
Yeah. Listen, guys, I'm not even joking. I only subscribe to like a core amount of people. You think I'm kidding? Go to my subscriber list, and then you realize that it's nothing but cat video channels, porn channels, and the movie reviews. And listen, Terence is one of them. Like he's one of the best, and that's why I've subscribed to him. So that's why I invited him on. So, Terence, say hi to the peeps out there.
Hi, people. Just for warning, if you lose any more followers, I apologize. I'll pay for all the damages. Just like I write you a check. Just can't cash it for like another year or so. So just for warning. So.
I just want to let you guys know that Terence is absolutely lying to you, and I'm blackmailing him right now because I caught him watching Kirk Cameron's Saving Christmas in theaters, and he doesn't really want me to tell anyone. So I kind of
Chase, you gotta keep that quiet. I think you boys.
Okay. So I'm not blackmailing Terence, and he's on because he wants to. All right. So the way this show is going to work this week, ladies and gentlemen, is that we will go over the two trailers that came out this week: Spy, starring Melissa McCarthy and directed by Paul Feig, and the Unfriended trailer, which is interesting. And then we're going to talk about the Oscar nominations, go into depth who should win and who will win. And if you keep track at home, we'll see later down the line who was right, me or Terence. And then we'll go over the box office results for the weekend. Terence does not know the numbers, and when I tell him the numbers, he's going to shit a Smurf. I don't even know if that's possible, but he's going to shit a small midget because I read the numbers this morning; they were outstanding. I was like, for a January movie, okay, never mind. We'll get to that when we get to it.
Should be interesting.
It will be interesting. All right, so let's go ahead and start with the trailers. We'll just go through these real fast. Spy. It's got Melissa McCarthy, Jude Law, Jason Statham, Rose Byrne's back in it. She previously worked with Paul Feig on Bridesmaids. It looks funny. I mean, here's the thing. I'm not privy to Melissa McCarthy's like stuff. I'm not like she's so funny, she's so great, but she's enjoyable, you know. And like I will enjoy her whenever she is in something. This looks funny though, so I'll give it the benefit of the doubt. I really like Bridesmaids in the Heat, so bring it on. That's all I gotta say about it. So, Terence, what do you think of the trailer?
Yeah, like I'm with you too. Like Bridesmaids was pretty cool. I like the Heat. Melissa McCarthy, I'm not a huge fan of. Like, I'm not big on comedy per se, but the Heat and Bridesmaids are pretty good. The trailer, it made me chuckle a couple of times. So you know, and usually when trailers do that for me, it's like it can go hit or miss because with comedies. You don't want to show too much of your jokes. Yeah. But you gotta show me a good one-liner where it's gonna say, "Okay, I'm in." This trailer didn't really do it for me. Maybe that one. Maybe at least one scene with Jude Law. We shot the guy after he sneezed. That one kind of made me chuckle a little bit. So, this trailer was okay. I mean, I'll check it out just to see it, but you know, it didn't wow me as of yet.
Yeah, I mean, that's basically how to sum it up. It's like, okay, I mean, I'll check it out. The reviews are cool and everything, but other than that, like, it was fine. It's got to be better than Tammy, but then again, I haven't seen Tammy. I just heard everyone uh, pretty much just taking a cactus and like raping it multiple times.
I didn't see Tammy. It looked terrible from so it's like, ugh.
See, Terrence was smart. I was about to see it, but then I was like, I should really rethink that decision.
I try to see movies that I think are going to be at least okay.
Yeah,
but that hasn't worked for me entirely. Like 3 Days to Kill. Yeah. So.
Whoops. Hey, sometimes you got to take that risk, and if it fires back in your face, I guess you got to just take it. All right, so yeah, that's the Spy trailer, and the next trailer to review real fast is Unfriended. Now you're probably thinking to yourself, what 1992 horror movie is this? Well, I'll tell you. Basically, this is a Sky horror film. Do you think I'm joking? I'm not. When you watch the trailer, you laugh, you cry, and you enjoy all the emotions of a film. Basically, this girl's a bitch, and she gets filmed doing bitchy things. Her video goes up online. She kills herself. A few weeks later, whatever the timeline is, and then a bunch of kids are just like, "Ooh, where's this chick at? Where's this bitch at? Oh, she's dead, son." And then stuff happens, and then someone comes to say he killed her, and then he stalks the children. Now, listen, what I just described to you was probably 10 times better than the trailer, but I actually like the trailer. Now, you're probably thinking to yourself, hey, which peyote are you smoking or injecting or however you take that drug? Because that trailer looks like garbage. I got to tell you, man, I thought it was like cheesy enjoyable, and I kind of want to see it. So it's a Sky horror film. Okay, I'm down for it. Terrence, take it away.
The trailer I didn't hate or whatever. I can see where your point when it looks like cheesiness and everything. It's like this trailer reminded me of like I Know What You Did Last Summer or like a prom night or whatever. It's just like, you know what? I could be in for it. Like if you force me to go see it. But
hey, listen, if I'm in my house staring at a wall and you're just like, hey, come out with me, let's hang out, and you're just like, no, I really don't want to. And then there's like, we're seeing Unfriended. Yeah, I really don't want to. And then they bust into your house and then like they tape you to the top of their car and they drive to the theater and then they sit you down, pry your eyes open like in Clockwork Orange, and they're just like, listen, you're gonna watch this, you're going to enjoy it, you're gonna be scared, you're gonna be truly terrified because this is a great horror film. That's the only way you would actually see it. But you know what? I'll give it a shot.
Okay. Look, I'll check it out just to say, hey, I've seen it.
And listen, if Terrence does check it out, go to his YouTube channel. I'm sure he will give it a pleasant review of kicking it in the ass. So those were the trailers that came out this week. Really not much came out. I mean, we could talk about the Avengers trailer, but guess what? Not really. There wasn't too much footage thrown in there, so there's really no reason to talk about it.
And we all going to see it anyway. So.
Exactly. It comes to the point where it's like, Marvel, listen, we know that you're amazing, but do you really have to show us like trailers of Avengers? Like, we're going to see it regardless. But if you really think about it, like, there's people that don't really know what's coming out, so it's more for them. But movie buffs like us, the 1%, we're just like, we knew the sequel was coming out as soon as the first one came out when they announced it. So
exactly. And trust me, when you say 1%, we are the 1%.
You think we're fucking joking, everyone, but we are the 1%. If you listen to this podcast, you are the 1%. If you are, like, my girlfriend, for instance, she is a part of the general public, the 99%, where, like, they don't look at movie news every day. They don't sit in basements with the lights turned off with Cheetos, all over their stomach and looking at movie news every day. They're just not like that. I just described my weekly routine. Whoops, sorry.
And I got friends too. It's like, I tell them what movie I want to see. It's like, I want to see Whiplash. What's that? I haven't heard of it. What? I said, let's go see Nightcrawler. Oh, that new X-Men movie? I didn't know X-Men was coming out. I said, no. Yeah, let me tell you how it is. So,
can we see the new X-Men? What's X-Men? What?
What? And then I got friends that tell me that you see movies that no one's even heard of. It's like, but I heard of it, so I must be somebody. So,
exactly. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, we're not crazy. We're just a part of the 1%. That should be a T-shirt. All right, those were the trailers that came out this week. Terrence, you ready to get into the meat of this thing? Let's get into let's just get into the Oscars. Let's kind of dive in there and kind of go around some stuff. Now, I'm going to throw a little bit of a caution before we get into this. I will not rant about stuff that is nominated from movies I have not seen because it is not fair to those movies. Now, I know everyone is hating on American Sniper right now for getting nominated, but to be honest with you, I have not seen it, so I cannot tell you, but I can tell you from the stuff I have seen what I think will win, and most likely probably will win regardless. It doesn't even matter if I've seen any others or not. So we're going to go ahead and start from the bottom, and we're going to work our way up to the top, start from the bottom. Now we're here. And so I am not Drake. But if you thought I was Drake, congratulations. You're really smart. So we're gonna go ahead and do some the smaller categories, and then Terrence and I will talk about the bigger ones, and then obviously Best Picture will be the last one. So we're gonna go ahead and start with Best Animated Feature. This is gonna be interesting because we probably won't even talk about the stuff that's nominated, but more likely the stuff that wasn't nominated. So, Best Animated Feature, we have the following nominated. Big Hero 6 from Disney, Box Trolls from Leica, How to Train Your Dragon 2 from DreamWorks, Song of the Sea, and Tale of Princess Kaguya. Now, I have not seen How to Train Your Dragon 2, and I really want to see it. I have not seen the Song of the Sea or Princess Kaguya, because I'm not ignorant. I will watch foreign films. Who can get a hold of them? No one. Like, they're not being released anywhere, and so, out of the two I have seen, I like the Box Trolls, but to be honest with you, there's one movie missing. Terrence, what's that one movie missing from this category that caused a pop culture wave in 2014, and everyone was talking about it for nearly a year straight? What is that movie?
Let me see. Was it? I think something awesome. Something. Oh, okay, there you go. The Lego movie.
Yes.
The Lego movie. Something I played with all my childhood.
Did you guys catch that when I list off the nominations? The Lego movie is not nominated for Best Animated Feature. Now you sit there and tell me this. A movie, when it first, Terrence, you remember this, in February, when it first came out, the reviews on Rotten Tomatoes were at 100%. This fucking movie was like destined to be like the next best thing in animation. When it comes out, it drops a little bit, respectively, and I think it went to like 97, 96. Still, this was a critically loved movie. We go in there, not knowing much because it's about Legos, so we're just like, well, we're not really expecting much. Then we're blown away on how awesome it is, to pun intended. Like, regardless of like what you think, me personally, I think it's a well constructed animated movie. It's got a lot of heart. Hell, it's got so much humor. You can laugh if you were an adult, an elderly person shitting their pants every day, an infant inside of a womb. Everyone laughs at that fucking movie. Now, where is it at? That's why I don't understand on that one. And Terrence, I'll let you take it away for a little bit. I've already ranted enough. It's very disheartening, but yeah.
Man, like I'm with you. Like, that was surprising. That was one of the ones that upset me, but not the most. But we'll get into that later, though. But like you said before, the Lego movie on Rotten Tomatoes is at a 96%.
Holy shit.
And that's critics.
Yeah.
Critics. It doesn't even get nominated. A lot of people from the beginning said, okay, it's going to win Best Animation. I mean, it was going to be that or How to Train Your Dragon 2.
Exactly. Everyone was saying that the Lego movie was going to win.
Oh my God.
Win.
That's like, look, I know a lot of people say, look, if it doesn't have a chance to like win, it shouldn't be nominated. But look, to be nominated means something.
Yeah.
It means something. Like, okay, Oscar nominated. At least you're in the category of like one of the best animations out there. But not to be nominated? Come on. Oh my God. Like, I was on Twitter the other day and somebody said the reason why they didn't nominate Lego Movie was because that half of the Academy members are so old that they never played with Lego movies in their life.
They play with rusty, moldy Lincoln Logs.
exactly. So it's like, like, what is that? That sounds foreign to me. You know? So it's like, how do you, like, oh my God, man, I don't even know. I'm speechless right now because
I know it really is like a tough pill to swallow. Like Terrence, you realize that we have to realize the Lego Movie is not nominated.
not nominated, man. Like, are you kidding me though?
Yeah,
Like,
listen, it is, however, nominated for original song with "Everything Is Awesome," but that still doesn't.
no, but look, yeah,
Yeah,
uh,
it's pretty frustrating. However,
uh,
to its credit, before we start blowing up, is that I don't know about you, but I have not seen Song of the Sea or Princess Kaguya, and we have no idea like if they're better than Lego Movie. And it might have been a tough year, it might have been a tough race. But as far as where it stands, it wasn't the fact that it was a good movie. It was also like the pop culture of that movie. Like it took it by storm. Like, are you serious? Like, the Lego Movie had the same effect as Guardians of the Galaxy did in terms of like how it affected our culture, and it just astounded me.
nostalgia for one thing.
Yeah,
Nostalgia,
exactly.
Like, oh my God! Like, look, I'm with you too with the animation because like I'm not a big animated guy. Like the only ones I've seen from the category is Big Hero 6, and I heard a lot of good things from How to Train Your Dragon 2 and the Box Trolls, but I can't tell you Song of the Sea and the Tale of Princess Kaguya, but I mean, make it 6 nominations and fit Lego Movie in there. I mean,
I know, right? Yeah,
goodness.
it really is disheartening. But I mean, like, okay, so since we are not left with the Lego Movie. I have not seen 3 of these nominees, but what I think will win
Mhm.
is How to Train Your Dragon 2. And I think it's because it's got the momentum of the Golden Globes and it was a critically acclaimed movie. But I think the upset would be Princess Kaguya. Even though I have not seen it, Jackson, who has been on this podcast numerous times, he has praised that movie.
Yeah,
So I think
I trust his opinion too. So
yeah, exactly. So I think that's what will win How to Train Your Dragon 2. But if I had to pick an upset, it'd be Princess Kaguya. But what do I want to win out of the ones I've seen? Obviously, the Box Trolls, because I've only seen 2 of them. So, Terrence, what say you? What do you think for this?
I mean, I would say if I had to pick what will win, it'd be How to Train Your Dragon 2 because a lot of people love that movie.
Yeah.
What I would like to win because I've seen it is like Big Hero 6.
Yeah.
Like I love Big Hero 6. Of course, it is predictable, but I enjoyed it for what it was. So I say I would want that to win. But if I had to pick, if I had a gun to my head and say, will probably be the sexier pick, it's probably what you said, the Tale of Princess Kaguya, because it seems so like philosophical.
Yeah, I mean, and they've picked foreign animated films before to win that category. So I mean, it's not anything foreign, pun intended. So I mean, yeah, we're going to have to move on because like Terrence and I really can't go over this category that much because we haven't really seen that much. So
there you go.
yeah, exactly. That's the best way to wrap it up. So animated feature. That's our thoughts on that. Let's move to editing.
Mm-hmm.
Let me go ahead and get my okay. The nominations for editing: American Sniper, Boyhood, The Grand Budapest Hotel, Imitation Game, and Whiplash. Now, I have seen all of them except for American Sniper, but my thoughts on this category. Oh shit! I mean, who I want personally to win? Whiplash, hands down. If you are a film student, watch that movie for its editing, and you will realize that that movie is edited to such a masterful state. But who I think is going to win? Oh shit, dude! I don't know. You know what? Fuck it. I think that the Academy will pick Whiplash for this one.
Okay.
So, what about you?
Okay. With this one, now we get into the nitty gritty because I have an issue with this category.
Okay.
How in the hell is Birdman not in this?
Now, I've thought about that, and I'm gonna tell you from my perspective as someone that went to film school.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you that yes, Birdman is an extremely difficult movie to do. It is 15-minute takes, which is it's literally impossible when you think of it as an actor, director, cinematographer, lighter, audio guy, everyone. It is hard to do. With that being said, you can tell where it's edited. Like there are certain tricks of the trade to where like he's going down a hallway that's dark and he'll come out somewhere that's light. You can tell that that's where they kind of edited it. I think they didn't do it. I think the Academy is just like, oh, it's one take, and they don't really think about the logistics. But what I'm telling you is, I don't think it deserves editing. But I know Terence is gonna rip me a new one here shortly. Listen, if you think about it, when they rehearse the same take over and over again, and they get that one take that they like, Alejandro, all he has to do is take that take, put it into the editing timeline, and you have it. And then you work on color and sound and sound design and whatnot. And then when you get the next clip, all you have to do is set that clip next to the first clip and just kind of work on that transition between the two clips and kind of mask it to make it look like one take. I don't think that it warrants an editing nomination.
I feel you, Chase. I mean, you make some legitimate points.
All right, so what are you gonna throw back at me? Let's do this.
But at the same time, too, when you're watching that movie and it feels like one long movie, I mean, it has to be recognized for that. Look, I know, you can easily put it together because, look, we both edit our videos. We said, okay, boom, put that piece together, connect the dots. But for a movie to feel like one long take, like, come on, it got to be at least, look, if it doesn't win, at least get some recognition saying, okay, it's not one long movie. It has to be some type of it has to be credited somehow.
To be honest with you, regardless if I think if it doesn't deserve to be in there, I do think that if it were to be in there, take out The Imitation Game. Now, I've said in my recent my review of The Imitation Game, I think it's a solid movie. I think it's a good movie, but I don't think it's at that Oscar level for anything. And I'm just being completely honest. So if I had to take something out to put Birdman in there, just to put it in there, I would actually take out The Imitation Game. Because Terrence is right. Like, it is difficult to mask those cuts, and I would actually consider that more hard to do than The Imitation Game, which was a very generic movie. So, yes, I do think that if Birdman has slip in there, I would take out The Imitation Game, but I'm still not sold on it being nominated for editing, but...
I get you. Yeah. I get you. I mean, you made valid point. I mean, I can't argue with that, but it's like, personally, it's like, to make it feel like one long shot, it's like, it has to be, like, recognized for that. At least that. It doesn't...
I feel you, man. So, like, what do you think is going to win, then?
Okay, what I think will win is Whiplash, but what I want to win is Boyhood, because...
Interesting. Why is that?
The way Boyhood filmed, it's like you can't even tell from year to year what was different. I mean, of course, Richard Linklater did an excellent job of transitioning from year to year with the use of music. So, it's not like, okay, when I said this in my review before, it's like you can't go back and edit something because the kid's older again. So you have to make sure you edit it nicely and transition it where it feels so cohesive. So I think Boyhood transitions from year to year really smoothly, and not a lot of movies can say that nowadays.
That's actually a good point. I'd never even thought of that, because you're right. Like, if Linklater films a scene when he's a little boy or whatever, and then the next year rolls around and he's like, oh shit, I forgot to get that one thing. It's like, you can't now. Like, you're done. So nope. I never even thought about that, but you're right, dude. Like, he would have been fucked if you forgot something. But I'll guarantee you, out of that 12 years, he was definitely like making sure he got everything. He probably did everything 4 or 5 times, and he kept it on like the most secretive hard drive ever. That way, no one would steal it or like blow it up or whatever.
And back at that time, probably on floppy disks too. So
yeah, exactly. So so you think Boyhood will win?
I would like Boyhood to win, but I'd say probably Whiplash will win on that category though.
So you and I both agree that they'll give love to Whiplash in this category for sure.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
well, Terrence, I forgot where did Whiplash place on your top 10?
Top 10. It comes in at number, actually my second favorite movie of the year.
Okay, so I mean, me and Terrence, like, I keep harping this over and over again. If you can find Whiplash, for the love of everything that is holy, go fucking find it. It was my number one favorite movie of the year. It's Terrence's number two. It was Jackson's number two when he was on. This movie is insane. You need to fucking see it. So,
Yep. Whiplash is intense.
yeah, it's an intense movie. And with that being said, that's why it should win editing, because it was an intense movie and it's a drama. That's why I would nominate it for editing. But to each his own. I'm sure after the Oscars, me and Terrence will go over our picks and see who is the superior being. All right, so next one we're gonna go over, and just to let you guys know, we're gonna skip over like short film, documentary, and I'm not being ignorant. It's just I haven't seen any of them, so I can't do that to you guys. Yeah, exactly. So we just have to kind of do the big ones and kind of go over the ones that are everyone's really looking at. So, Terrence, let's go ahead and go over cinematography, because this is going to be a very interesting debate. So, cinematography, the nominations are Birdman, The Grand Budapest Hotel, Ida, Mr. Turner, a.k.a. Dick Poop, and Unbroken. Quick story before we start. Dick Poop. Listen, I was one of those guys that watched it live. When she said it for the first time, it kind of caught me off guard, and I was like, wait a minute. She said Dick Poop. Holy shit. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, the guy that shot Mr. Turner, his name is Dick Pope. Now, when they were reading off the nominations, the lady was like, Dick Poop, Pope for Mr. Turner. And I was like, really? You messed that word up? Like,
it's like one of the most easiest names.
Yeah.
Like, not mess up. You know, it's not like it was John Travolta. So
yeah, I know, right? Dick fucking Poop, man. That was like the third highest like trend on Twitter. Like, it was insane to actually see it.
And it's a bad combination. Dick Poop. Like, really? Come on. Like,
so it's good.
Just like go together.
So what does it look like? A chocolate covered Twinkie? Like, what is it?
Probably. Wait, like something coming out? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a chocolate covered Twinkie. So now that you guys have thrown up all over your computer screens, let's go over this. So I've only seen two of these movies. Okay. I've seen Birdman and Grand Budapest Hotel. Okay. What I can tell you is that they're both shot amazingly. And to be honest with you, I don't know what's going to win this. Because regardless of Birdman and its long takes and what the cinematographer has to do and how they have to frame up each actor every single time when they're on their mark, it's impressive. But to be honest with you, I have no idea which way the Academy is going to swing. The easiest answer is to say Birdman, for sure. But out of the ones I've seen, I mean, Grand Budapest Hotel also has a shot. It's not like I'm neglecting it. It's shot beautifully. Wes Anderson's films are framed up so meticulously, and they're so colorful, and they vibrate, and they pop out. And that's all have to do with the production design and the cinematography. With Birdman, you have one take, you have fluid, like hallway movements. That shit is hard to do, folks. I'm sorry, I don't even care if you have a monopod. That shit is hard to do. And it's tough, man, but I think who I want to win, I think I want Birdman to win. Who is going to win? I'm going to say Birdman, but on the contingency of maybe one of the ones I have not seen possibly being up there, because they're very well-known cinematographers. So I don't know, man. It's a tough call, but I think I'm gonna have to go with Birdman as the guy or the one that's gonna take this. So Terrence, how do you see this category?
I agree to that. Birdman would definitely take it, just for what you said alone about how everything was lined up perfectly together. Out of the categories that were nominated, the only movie I haven't seen was Dick Poop's movie, Mr. Turner.
Yeah, no, I don't think anyone's seen Dick Poop movie, except for like those guys in trench coats that go to the theater at 3 a.m.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I haven't seen that one. But I think what I would like to win, I mean, it's probably a sexy name to pick, but it's Roger Deakins in Unbroken because
Yeah, Roger Deakins is a fantastic cinematographer.
I mean, and his cinematography in Unbroken was fantastic, and that's one of the aspects of that movie that stuck out to me more because there's certain scenes in that movie where when they're out in the ocean, it's like just fantastic to look at. And there's one shot he also does too in the concentration camp that was great to look at too. So it's like his work. I mean, he always does a good job with his work, but Unbroken, I think I like his work in this more. But yeah, like you said before, it's kind of hard to say what the Academy may pick because you can go either way. Because
you really can. Like that's what's difficult is like you don't know if the Academy is swinging towards the one take of cinematography, the fluid cinematography, or like the framed up cinematography that's colorful with the Grand Budapest Hotel, or like you said, Unbroken, and how everything just looks gorgeous. Like you don't know which way they're going to swing. But yeah, go ahead.
I mean, Ida's cinematography was great. The Grand Budapest Hotel cinematography was great. I mean, this is a tough category too. I mean, if I had to say what the Academy would pick, I'd probably say Birdman. But what I would like to win is Unbroken.
Really? Wow. Yeah. One of the only things for Unbroken, you're actually going with the latter on that one.
Yeah,
wow.
Because Unbroken, it's an okay movie. I mean, for those who did see it, I mean, it had a lot of flaws to it, but the most aspect of it that sticks out the most is the cinematography.
Well, I mean, do you remember last year at the Oscars for cinematography, Roger Deakins got nominated for Prisoners, which was an awesome movie to look at. So Roger Deakins gets nominated for a lot, but he doesn't. When he's not with the Coen Brothers, he does not win. I'm sorry, but like when he's with the Coen Brothers, he has a better shot of winning.
Yeah.
So don't work with Angelina Jolie again if you want to win an Oscar. So yeah, those are our thoughts on cinematography. So those are the smaller ones that we are kind of done with. We're going to kind of move into the main 6 categories, which is directing, supporting actor, actress, or actor, actress, and then best picture. So, all right, Terence, I know this is going to be an interesting one. Let's jump into directing.
Okay.
For directing, the nominations are Alejandro González Inarritu. I'm sorry, that was extremely wrong and racist. For Birdman, Boyhood, Richard Linklater, Foxcatcher, Bennett Miller, Wes Anderson, Grand Budapest Hotel, and Morton Tildum, Imitation Game. Now, before we go into what is nominated, Terence has seen... Terence, do you hear that?
Yep.
Okay, so apparently, since I live in Butthole, Dallas, apparently, I guess, I live next to the zoo, so I'm assuming a hippo ate someone and, like, shit it out in the pond. So, anyways, now, contingencies before we start. Terence has seen Selma. I've read Terence's statuses and Twitter updates on Selma. He really loved it.
Yep. Every movie of the year.
Exactly. So, Terence, how angry are you that the director of Selma did not make it in?
I am... I can't describe how mad I am. Like, I've calmed down since it's been a
So,
days.
Terence basically, like, had to go get, like, an ice cream cone or something, like, calm himself down.
Yeah, I had to do, like, the woosah from Bad Boys 2. Like, woosah. Like, look. There's only 2 directors that I would actually take out to add Ava DuVernay for Selma. I would take out Bennett Miller.
No. Sorry.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes.
Nope. Okay.
Yes. Chase.
Terrence, I'll let you have the field for this one. I'll come back at you a little later.
And I would take out Morton Tillman from the Imitation Game.
I agree with that one.
Bennett Miller, look, Foxcatcher was a really chilling and good movie. The acting alone was fantastic.
And that's exactly why Bennett Miller should be nominated.
Okay, but his direction in that movie didn't match the acting in that movie.
Really?
It really didn't.
So you're saying like the acting did not match like the tone of the film?
Exactly.
What?
Exactly.
Man.
Like there are certain aspects to that movie I felt that the director didn't really touch upon as much as he should have.
Okay.
The acting's phenomenal, but his direction was kind of like I don't want to say all over the place, but there's certain aspects I think it was under another director, they would tackle those particular subjects in that movie. I mean, there's certain scenes that say, okay, it can go this way, it can go that way, but it doesn't expound on those scenes to say, okay, this is clear cut. Maybe that's the way the movie was going for, but as far as direction goes, I think that could have been done better.
Wow. Okay. Well, I respect your opinion, sir. But like, I think you. Besides Selma, was there anyone else that you thought was should have been nominated?
Oh, for sure. Okay, look, how does David Fincher not get nominated for Best Director? I mean, look, I recently watched Gone Girl, and like I didn't look at my who I put for Best Directors in my personal list. I haven't looked at it for a while, and after I rewatched Gone Girl, I said, David Fincher is like his direction is so masterful. It's like he has to be one of the best directors working today, which he is. And I looked at my personal top 5. I have him as he's not my top director, but he's like my third best director of this year. How does he not get nominated for that? I mean, everything about that movie you can tell is precise and perfection, at least from his standards. I mean, you got Ben Affleck gave a great performance. Rosamund Pike. I mean, that's an actress that doesn't get a lot of work. And the work she does do, it's like she's okay and she's not great or whatever.
Yeah.
But you get a great performance out of that. I mean, everything in that movie was just like precise and clear cut. No pun intended. If you've seen a particular scene in that movie.
Yeah.
But
no, just to let you guys know, like Terence and I fucking love Gone Girl. Like he actually posted a picture of him buying Gone Girl the same day I bought it. And I was like, yeah. You know that when you buy the Blu-ray on its first day, you fucking love the movie, hands down. So,
love Gone Girl, man. It's like I don't understand how she not.
It really is baffling because you gotta love Fincher, man. Like his movies are they're like a surreal nightmare. All of them, like except for Benjamin Button, that was his attempt at a romantic comedy, which I actually really enjoyed. But I mean, like every other movie is like. It's like a dream world, you know. Yeah. It's a very atmospheric film, and Gone Girl was no different. And yeah, now I understand there were some people that didn't like it for certain reasons, but I mean, to each his own. I really liked it, and I watched it a second time. I liked it even more. But you know who else is missing from this list?
Which one? Who's that?
Damien Chazelle for Whiplash.
Very true.
I'm sorry, but. When you have Whiplash, which is about as perfect as they come, and your acting, your cinematography, your music, your editing, when everything is on point, who do you think is fucking behind that? The janitor? No. Fucking Damien Chazelle of Whiplash. Where's his nomination? So, yeah, Gone Girl, Selma for Terrence's behalf, and then me for Whiplash. Those are the ones that should have been nominated, but if you really think about it, it's like, well, then who do you take out? I mean, you want Bennett Miller and Morton Tilden, which I totally agree with on Imitation Game, but everyone else is justified. That's what's frightening about it. Is like I can't be mad because it's like all these are strong contenders except for Morton Tilden. So I mean, you can't.
It's tough too.
Yeah.
It's tough. Like like I said in my review, like Ava DuVernay, like. I forgot that Selma wasn't even a PG-13 movie, but there were some scenes where it's like, wow, it's like I expected to see that in a rated R movie, but PG-13 movie, it's like her direction was so great in that movie because I know she had some issues with the writing about being like credited for writing or whatever, but the way she filmed that movie about Martin Luther King, she didn't pull no punches with that because of course when you got Martin Luther King, everybody loves Martin Luther King. He's an icon. But in that movie, she didn't shy away from his imperfections or impurities because it's like, you can easily do that, but she gave the movie so much honesty to that. It's just like, okay, we're not gonna paint no pictures. There's no rose-colored glasses here. It's like, no, you're gonna see Martin Luther King who he is. Good flaws and bad flaws the way it is, and that's why I think she deserved a nomination just for that alone. And
so she basically like made him more human.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because like it's very easy for someone to say, dude, this person's amazing. He is like on this pedestal, but you have to realize that we're all human beings. We're all part of the same fucking species. So we're all gonna be the same way. We're gonna be human beings. And so Terence has sold me on it. I'm gonna see Selma eventually. But it seems like there was a lot of people that kind of got left out. But you know what? These are the ones presented in front of us. So let's break this down.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go first on this one. I'm going to be honest with you. This is the toughest one to call out of all the categories. Why? Two of them are basically neck and neck. Mm-hmm. Richard Linklater for Boyhood and Inarritu for Birdman. Now you're thinking to yourself, dude, Boyhood's got this in the bag. Richard Linklater made this over a 12-year period. But you have to keep in mind, like I just said in the editing and the cinematography, Birdman is not an easy fucking movie to do. Just because it has 7 long takes and that's it, you have to plan the actors on where they're going to go. You have to plan the lights out on where they're going to go. Hell, the fucking audio guys with the boom mics, you have to direct them on where to go so they don't get in the fucking shot. Because guess what, folks? If you do something in one take and you mess it up, you have to start over again. Like, that's a lot of pressure to do. And it's very straining on the actors and very straining on the crew. So with that being said, Birdman is a very well-directed movie. That shit takes skill and patience to do, as well as Boyhood. Now, here's why I'm having trouble. I love both movies. Terrence, I was going back and forth on this one, but who I think should win? Boyhood. Who I think will win? I think Linklater has got the one up on Inarritu.
Okay.
And I think solely because 12 years is an extremely awesome feat. And I think that's why the Academy is going to swing his way, to be honest with you. And I think, you know what? I'm going to go on a fucking rant here. Richard Linklater, he is one of the most underrated directors working today. If you guys have not seen Dazed and Confused, or any of the Before trilogies, or the Before movies, like Before Sunrise, Before Sunset, Before Midnight. Shit, I even like Scanner Darkly for its weird fucking tone of a movie. Richard Linklater is a fantastic director. It's his due, man. I think this is like his opus. I think he deserves. I know we're not supposed to say deserves or whatever, because like no one deserves an award. This motherfucker has made excellent movies. This is like his granddaddy of them all. I think he's got this. But looking at Terrence's face, because we do this, I record over Skype, I can see that he might be swinging towards Birdman. Am I correct on that?
You are a psychic, Chase.
I know.
Yeah. But you know what, too? Like, all your points, I agree with you, too, because, like, I've been fighting over it for the longest, because Boyhood is nothing short of a masterpiece. And you need a good director with skill. The Before trilogy is fantastic. One of all-time favorite movies of all time. So,
it's seriously one of the best love stories ever made on film.
And it's so natural and real. Even down to Boyhood. The realism of Boyhood is just so raw and authentic. And it's like, either way, like you said, look, with Birdman and Boyhood, you can't go either way. I mean, if you pick one, fine.
Exactly. And I forgot to mention that. If Birdman wins over Boyhood, I'm not going to be upset. Like, both of them deserve that kind of race right now. So, I mean, like, Birdman wins, I'm not going to be upset. Like, I'll be like, that's well-deserved. But if Boyhood wins, I'll be like, that's also well-deserved. So,
honestly, I want to have it tied. Just for
that'd be cool.
It's like, we both won. There we go. Yeah, it can't be wrong there.
Shit,
like,
do you remember was it last year they had the tie in sound mixing? Was it?
I know it was a tie with something. I forgot what it was.
It was Zero Dark 30 and something else. Like two movies shared an award. Fucking weird. Why would you do that? Just have people vote for it again and be like, okay, this one had the one up. You give it to them. That just makes no sense to me. But I mean, that'd be kind of weird if they did the tie. But at the same time, like if you and I were on the Academy board, I'd be like, guys, I'm gonna raise my hand. These two movies tie for directing. I can't really decide, so there's my votes.
There you go. Boom. Both of them. Richard Linklater and Aratu both come up, pick your award. We mail the other one to you if you can't.
Fight for the award. They're going to have like a cockfight in the middle of the room.
Or you just split the other half. You make the other half later on, you know? Like, okay.
You know what? I'll get the left side of Oscar. Yeah, I'll get the right side of Oscar, bitch.
Boom. Exactly. And Aratu can say, like, well, it's in the mail, but 12 years later, you get it, okay?
Good, that's great.
The reason I would go for, like, Birdman is the fact that, like, a lot of things go into making that movie. Like, of course, like you said, the technical stuff, but also the performances. You got Michael Keaton, Edward Norton, Emma Stone, Naomi Watts, Zach Galifianakis. All of them gave outstanding performances. I mean, for me personally, Edward Norton gave my favorite performance in that movie, but I feel as a director's job is to get the best performances out of his actors. And that's why I say it goes to Birdman when it comes to directing, because even though with Boyhood, you get good performances out of Ethan Hawke and Patricia Arquette, the kid actor, he was okay. He didn't reach the level of, like, Patricia Arquette and Ethan Hawke. That's why I say, you know, I'd give one notch over to Birdman just for that factor alone. But at the same time, with Boyhood, it takes a lot of dedication and skill to film a movie over 12 years. So it's like it's a tough choice. So I mean, right now I would give it to Birdman, but Boyhood, it's like if that wins, you know what? I'm happy for it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, this is one of the hardest ones to judge. I honestly don't know which way the Academy is going to go. And, you know, Linklater won at the Golden Globes for directing, so there is kind of that momentum going right now. But, yeah, you know, Birdman wins it? Fuck.
Yeah.
You know what? You know, it'd be a really cool upset if this was the only thing Foxcatcher won.
Wow.
Wouldn't that be we'll get to that in just a second. But yeah, you know, yeah. But that's our thoughts on directing. Yeah, I'm just looking at the sheet. I'm just like, man, why is this fucking tough? But I mean, yeah, Foxcatcher is also a well-directed movie, and you know, a director's job is to get the best performance out of the actors. Guess what? He got the best performance out of the actors. So it's anyone's race except for Morton Tilden on The Imitation Game. But it seems like the race is between Boyhood and Birdman.
Yeah.
Either way, a film is going to win that starts with the letter B. There you go.
There you go. I wouldn't be surprised if Grand Budapest Hotel gets
exactly.
So.
Exactly. We don't fucking know. Like, because Grand Budapest Hotel won Best Comedy at the Golden Globes, and I don't know. We don't know. We don't fucking know. Like, the Golden Globes just screwed up everything. We thought everything was a lock, and now everything's being switched up. And it's like, well, fuck, man, my mind's being exploded. All right.
Yeah.
So that's our thoughts on directing. That one took a while, but totally understandable because that one was a tough one. So let's go into performance by an actress in a supporting role.
Okay.
And we have Patricia Arquette for Boyhood, Laura Dern for Wild, Keira Knightley for The Imitation Game, Emma Stone for Birdman, and Meryl Streep for Into the Woods. Now, full disclosure on this one, I have not seen Wild or Into the Woods, so I will get Meryl Streep and Laura Dern out, and I will base it on the three. As much as I love Emma Stone and Birdman, she was fantastic in that movie, and Terence knows which scene I'm talking about when she's talking to Michael Keaton in that room. And it's basically, like, the whole movie's one take, or seemingly one take, but the camera's literally on her face for, like, a good, I would say almost 5 minutes, and she delivers, like, this really powerful monologue that's kind of applicable to all the characters in the film. She nails it. But I like Patricia Arquette more in Boyhood, so who I think should win, I think Patricia Arquette should win, and I think she will win. And I think because I watched Boyhood again when I bought it on Blu-ray. I saw it back in June, and I walked out going, Patricia Arquette and Ethan Hawke killed it. I fucking loved both their performances. When you watch it again, as much as I love the Hawk, Ethan Hawke is my boy. I fucking love him in anything. But when you watch the movie again, Patricia Arquette brings this motherly instinct to it that I didn't really see fully the first time. The second time, I really honed in onto her performance. And I was like, she fucking sold this. Like, she basically convinced me that these were her kids. And the last scene, Terrence knows, the last scene at the very end, when good old Eller Coltrane has grown up and he's about to leave the nest, like, she breaks down, and you can connect with that because, Terrence, how old are you?
26.
So Terrence and I are you're 26? Fuck.
Yes.
Terrence and I are literally almost the same age. I'll be 25 actually tomorrow. But like we know that when we leave that nest and stuff, like, mothers are like that. So like we know how that is, and so I think with that ending scene alone, which I think that is the exact scene that they will use when she is nominated, they'll be like, Patricia Arquette for Boyhood, and then we'll cut to that scene where she's crying and stuff. That's my pick for this. So Terrence, take it away.
You know what? What more can I say? I mean, that's a given lock right there. I mean,
really, you think that one's a lock?
That's a lock.
Wow.
I looked at it. It's like on the nominees. Like, yeah, Laura Dern, she was good, but she wasn't in there enough to say, okay, nominate her or let alone win. Keira Knightley, she was good in Imitation Game, but that's Benedict Cumberbatch or Cumberbund, as you say.
Yeah,
that's his movie. Emma Stone, she was great. She was great, but she wasn't in there enough for me to say, okay, I mean, she'll probably rival Patricia Arquette, but she's probably like a notch below her. And Meryl Streep, I haven't seen Into the Woods, but I would say she has no chance though. But
no,
Patricia Arquette is pretty much a lock in my given.
Really,
yeah. Just like you said in that last scene she did. I showed Boyhood to my mom. And that scene right there is just so human. My mom related to that scene so much about when she talks about what the hell am I supposed to do now after you graduate high school, you go into college. It's
exactly.
Like, that scene is so relatable, and the way she performed that scene and gives you the human element to it is just great. And I think
that's what's great about Linklater's movies is that he's very natural with his dialogue and his characters.
Exactly. So I mean, for me, who I think will win, Patricia Arquette. Who should win, Patricia Arquette. And because, I mean, that's a performance that you can't imitate. You can only hope to duplicate. So
yeah, and for an upset, I think Emma Stone might take that. She might be the upset if I had to pick an upset. Because like I said, I can't comment on two of them, but out of the three, I think Arquette's got this in the bag. So. Okay, so you thought this was a lock, ladies and gentlemen? When we go to the supporting actor right now, this is such a lock. Me and Terrence can sum this up in 30 seconds. Here we go. Yep. Best performance by an actor in supporting role, we have Robert Duvall in The Judge, Ethan Hawke, Boyhood, Edward Norton, Birdman, Mark Ruffalo for Foxcatcher, and J.K. Simmons for Whiplash. I have not seen The Judge.
Me either.
But I'm going to tell you this right now. Who should win and who will win? Same fucking person. J.K. Simmons has got this so far in the bag, he's actually crawled inside the bag and camped there for weeks. Okay, he ain't fucking leaving. He's got this so far in the bag, it's insane, but rightfully so. J.K. Simmons' performance in Whiplash, it rivals Miles Teller. And you know what? I've said this in my fucking review, Terrence. I don't know if you remember. I actually thought Miles Teller was so good, he should have been in the talks to being nominated for an Oscar. Yeah, he was fantastic, but yes, the performance that everyone talks about is J.K. Simmons. If I had to pick an upset, even the upset is tough because I love Ethan Hawke in Boyhood, and Edward Norton was pretty damn good in Birdman. So if I had to pick an upset, if anyone was going to dethrone him, I think they might give it to Ethan Hawke, but that's like a 1% chance that I'm not even willing to put money on. J.K. Simmons has got this. Yeah. Terrence, your thoughts?
Man, I'm telling you, like, this is another lot. I mean, like you said, J.K. Simmons in Whiplash is freaking fantastic in this movie. I mean, when I seen it back in, I think it was like October or whatever it was. Like, when I watched it, I want J.K. Simmons in every scene, in every minute. I want to see him more. I mean, when he was off scene, I said, I want J.K. Simmons back. He was magnetic. I mean, honestly, he's my favorite overall performance. Male, female, supporting.
Wow.
The whole entire year. That's how great he was. And if he doesn't win, like, I'll be upset. But you know what? I can understand it, but still. J.K. Simmons, man. And this category is tough, too, because, like, Edward Norton is one of my favorite actors working today. And he gave one hell of a performance in Birdman. I mean, if J.K. Simmons was not in Whiplash, I would love to see Edward Norton take it, just because he's one of my favorite actors, though. But it's like, any other year, it'd be Edward Norton's year. But J.K. Simmons, man, I mean, he just steals the show. Every scene he's in, he's just like, yeah, this is mine to begin with.
Yeah.
From the opening credits to the end.
It is also a tough category, but I think you and I both know that 99.9% truth is J.K. Simmons. He's going to win this. And if you don't pick him, this is like the one category you're going to feel stupid for losing. All right, so moving on from that, we have Best Performance by an Actress in a Leading Role, Marion Cotillard for 2 Days, One Night, Felicity Jones for The Theory of Everything, Julianne Moore for Still Alice, or Rosamund Pike for Gone Girl, and Reese Witherspoon for Wild. Now, I have only seen 2 of these movies on this list. But from what I've been hearing from all these performances, I can kind of judge who's going to win this, but let me go ahead and break this down. The 2 I have seen, Gone Girl and 2 Days, One Night. I was actually really surprised that Marion Cotillard got nominated. I saw the movie on an online screener like 4 weeks ago. I thought it was pretty good. I really liked it, and I talked to Jackson about it, and he really loved it as well. But Gone Girl. Out of the 2 I've seen, Rosamund Pike, dear God. First of all, I don't want to ever go near her or date her or marry her because she'll kill me in my sleep. But out of the 2 I've seen, obviously Rosamund Pike is my pick, but she is not my, she's my should win. Mm-hmm. Who's going to win? Julianne Moore. Mm-hmm. I think this is her year. I think the momentum is going along with her. She's unstoppable. She's winning every single award up until this point. I think she can do no wrong on this. Even though I personally have seen the movie, I'm just making a prediction, and I'm going to say that she's going to take this, even though I've not seen it. I'm excited to see it whenever the fuck it comes to Texas, but I think she will win it. But if I had to pick Rosamund Pike, obviously, because I've only seen 2 of them. So, and another little fun fact. Oh, this isn't a fun fact. This is more like a shit fact. This is the only nomination for Gone Girl, by the way. Yeah. What the fuck? We didn't talk about music score. Where the fuck was that at? Anyways, done with that. So, Terrence, those are my picks for actress in a leading role. So what say you, sir?
Okay. I saw 4 out of these categories. I haven't seen 2 Days, One Night. I haven't seen the Marion Cotillard one, but the rest of them I did see. Like you said, Rosamund Pike, man, she is so chilling. I mean, even when she's not acting, she's very chilling. She's like ice.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If I ever came across her in real life, I'd be like, ooh, yeah, I'm gonna go and just step back for a little bit.
Exactly. And it's funny too. When she was in Tomorrow Never Dies, her name was Miss Frost. So it's how ironic is that? Yeah. So yeah, but she was great in Gone Girl, and Julianne Moore. I mean, I think I don't want to call it a lock, but 95%. She has a 95% chance of actually winning this one because she's my favorite female performance of this year. Julianne Moore, she was fantastic in Still Alice. I loved her in that movie. And her doing that with Alzheimer's and the way she performed in that movie, that was her movie from hands down. That was her movie, and then she deserves it. I mean, I remember her first movie, which was The Lost World Jurassic Park. That was her debut, and she moved up to this. It's like, wow. She's been nominated like a few times before, but I think, this is a chance for actually winning Best Actress because.
Yeah, I totally agree. Like, out of the two I've seen, she should win it. But I mean, obviously, I can't be blind about it, and I have to go with Moore on it.
Yeah, I mean, Julianne Moore, man. I mean, like, for the longest, Rosamund Pike, like, was my favorite to win, but Julianne Moore, she made me tear up in one scene. I mean, those who've seen it in Still Alice, there's one scene where she's giving a speech, and she, like, drops the papers. It's like, my goodness. It made me tear up. Look, like, I still got my man card, but still, that's a scene that, like, if you don't cry, you don't have a heart.
you are soulless.
Yeah. But definitely Julianne Moore is pretty much out, like, close to a lot. I wouldn't say full lot, but she's a half lot. So
she's a half lock, and guess what? Terence and I are going to patent that, and we're going to make that into a business. Half lock.
Yeah, my name first, though.
True, because you did come up with it. So those are our picks for actress. As you can tell, I think we know that Moore's pretty much almost got it in the bag. I think she's a pure lock. Terrence thinks, she's a major lock, but, some upset could be there. But that's not the controversial category. Terrence fucking knows, because he's about to go off, and I'm about to go off too. But I can only go off on one of them because I've only seen one of the two. Best actor in a leading role, we have Steve Carell, Foxcatcher, Bradley Cooper, American Sniper, Benedict Cumberbund for The Imitation Game, Michael Keaton for Birdman, and Eddie Redmayne for The Theory of Everything. Before we get in to who should win and who will win, Terrence, who is missing from Selma?
First off, David Oyelowo. How is he not in there? I mean, this guy. I think he's from the United Kingdom, or I think he's from England. I mean, So he has another accent already, and you can't even tell that he has another accent. He transforms himself into Martin Luther King. This is a guy that a lot of people may not even know. He was in Dawn of the Planet of the Apes back in 2011.
Yep.
And it comes to this type of performance, how you do not recognize him. Like, I don't understand how. I mean, he carries that movie with grace. I mean, oh my goodness. I'm speechless right now, though. I mean, look, you have a good list of actors in this movie, but in this category, but David Oyelowo, I mean, even if he wasn't going to win, I keep on saying this, if a person wasn't going to win, at least nominate him, recognize him. Because look, the way Oscar nominated actor carries a lot of weight in Hollywood. To not even nominate him, and I know like the film didn't get a lot of screeners out, but at the same time too, in another category, it's nominated for Best Picture and nominated for Best Original Song. So it's not like you didn't see his performance. You have to have seen it. My goodness, man.
See, and here's the thing. I have not seen Selma, so I can't really comment on his performance in there. But there's also one other name, and I'll go ahead and take it on this one. Where in the flying monkey fuck is Jake Gyllenhaal for Nightcrawler? Listen, Academy, you sick fucks. If you're sitting in a dark room right now and someone is holding you captive and they're saying, do you want to eat this cow patty or do you want to listen to this podcast? And they're just like, oh, I'll listen to Real Me and Colin, a movie podcast. It's probably going to be worse. And so you listen to it. If you're listening to it right now, what are you doing? What are you fucking doing with your life? You want, like Terrence said, you want to talk about someone that can like bleed in to their character and not even be fucking recognizable? Is Jake Gyllenhaal in Nightcrawler. What the hell?
Oh my goodness. This category, for the most part, pissed me off because for the people who are on it, look, Steve Carell, was good in Foxcatcher, but he wasn't my favorite. His performance did not stay with me throughout the whole year. And Bradley Cooper in American Sniper, like, look, it's not Bradley Cooper's fault, but that's a selfish nomination for the fact that this is the third year he's been nominated for Best Actor. He's nominated for Silver Lining Playbook. He was nominated for American Hustle. I liked him in Civil Linings Playbook. His performance kind of tailed off at the end. And American Hustle, he did not deserve to be nominated for Best Actor. Look, he was great in American Sniper, but he wasn't good. He wasn't good enough to beat over David Oyelowo or Jake Gyllenhaal in Nightcrawler, hands down. I mean, those are snubs. I mean, a lot of people don't like to use the word snub, but my God, Jake Gyllenhaal in that movie was utterly fantastic and creepy. I mean, look, he lost weight for the role, but at the same time, though, that just adds to his performance. He's like his eyeballs, the way he blinks, it's like, dude, that's creepy. I mean, his performance in Prisoners and this are some of his two best performances to date. So, I mean, to know that he's not nominated just kills me, because the fact that I honestly thought that he was going to be nominated. I mean, that's like, for me, that was one of the locks of being nominated, and not to be recognized, it's just like crazy. I mean, and even he did Enemy this year, and that was great too. He's going up against himself. So it's like,
it's astounding. Yeah, it really is astounding. And listen, I cannot comment on Eddie Redmayne for The Theory of Everything or Bradley Cooper for American Sniper. I can't. So I can't say who deserves to be in there and regarding those two. But what I can tell you is this, and I've said this in my review of The Imitation Game, and it comes down to this fucking movie again. I thought it was a good movie. Benedict Cumberbatch's performance, I only liked at the very fucking end of it. Like, that was the moment where I was like, you know what? I feel for this character. I think this is the one scene that's probably going to get him an Oscar nom if he gets nominated. And guess what? He's nominated. And once again, when they go over his nomination card in the show, they're going to be like, Benedict Cumberbatch, The Imitation Game. They're going to show that fucking clip in his apartment. I know which scenes they pick because I've got this fucking figured out now. And, like, it's not a performance that was worthy. And so, like, Terence wants David Oyelowo to be in there. I think you should take Benedict out and put fucking Jake Gyllenhaal, because I know that was way better than Benedict's. But once again, we can't complain about who's not there, but that's just our opinion on it. We have to kind of go, what is there? Now, I have not seen two of the movies, like I said. This is another two-horse race between Eddie Redmayne and Michael Keaton. Now, I've not seen The Theory of Everything, but he's getting so much praise. He won the Golden Globe in the drama category, so I know that he's got eyes on him right now. This is tough, man. I went back and forth on this. Shit.
Yeah.
Who I think should win? I'm going to go Keaton out of the ones I have seen. I think Eddie Redmayne's he's going to win. I think Michael Keaton should win. I think Redmayne is going to carry this because Academy loves biopics. They really do. And I if he really killed it out of the park like people are saying, he's probably got this. He probably does. And I don't. And listen, not to knock Steve Carell because he was fucking awesome in Foxcatcher. I just think that this is a two-horse race, unfortunately for him, because if it was any other year, he might win it. But yeah,
at the same time too, like Steve Carell is like you really couldn't tell was he lead actor or supporting. But I think they meant lead actor because
I think he was supporting.
Yeah,
I think he was supporting straight up. That was Tatum's movie, and I've said it in my review. I'll say it again. I think Ruffalo and Steve Carell, they lost themselves in their characters. But the transformation that Tatum did to finally garner some recognition from people in this fucking industry has finally happened in this film. Like, his transformation with this character in this film was outstanding, and the way he portrayed his character, very, very calm, subdued. He was very to himself. But when he exploded, he fucking exploded, and I love those type of characters. But Steve Carell was not a lead actor in that. He was in half. He was like maybe less than half the movie. This was about Tatum's role and his character and his progression, his storyline. But like I said, that's neither here nor there. I think Michael Keaton should win this, but I think this is going to be the one upset on this category. I think because people are going for Keaton, but I think this is the theory of everything's only win. Maybe for score, but this might be their only win. I think Redmayne's got this. Terrence, how do you see this, man?
Yeah, this is kind of tough too because this is much different from this category is much different from my personal picks though because I do have Benedict Cumberbatch in my best performances of this year, and I do have Eddie Redmayne in that. And Eddie Redmayne, just like David Oyelowo and Steve and not Steve Carell and Jake Gyllenhaal, he's very transformative in the theory of everything because it's not also his acting ability, but it's also the physicality of his ability to act that particular role because they filmed that movie out of order, non-linear. So it's like one scene he could be walking, next scene he can be in a wheelchair cramped up. So it's a tough choice because look, I enjoyed Michael Keaton's performance, but at the same time, it was my favorite performance of that particular movie and of the year in general. Honestly, I see Michael Keaton winning it, but at the same time, I can see Eddie Redmayne winning it too. So I think I would like Eddie Redmayne to win it, honestly, because look, for me, I've been fighting over it for like the longest, over Benedict Cumberbatch and Eddie Redmayne. Just up until last night, I had Benedict Cumberbatch over Eddie Redmayne, but Eddie Redmayne's performance has really grown on me for the last few months, and I think that's what makes it a great performance once it stays with you for a few months on end. So I say Michael Keaton will win, but the one who should win is probably Eddie Redmayne.
Okay, so we are flopped on those decisions. Okay. We'll definitely see when it comes down to that particular day. Moving on, before we go to Best Picture, I forgot we did not do adapted screenplay and original screenplay, but we're not going to spend time on those. What we're going to do is look at the list, and you tell me who should win and who will win. Yeah, sorry about that. Because screenplays are very important. I just forgot. All right, so to do adapted screenplay real fast, the nominations are American Sniper, Imitation Game, Inherent Vice, Theory of Everything, and Whiplash. Who I think should win, I really want Inherent Vice to win, but that's not going to happen. The Academy is going to pick... fuck. They're probably going to pick... Shit, it's a three-way tie between Sniper, Imitation Game, and Theory of Everything, which I've only seen one of them, but I have a feeling that either one of those could win, but I would like Inherent Vice to win. Not going to happen. So, Terrence, real quick, what do you think for adapted?
Adapted, I think for me, the best adapted screenplay is probably for me the Imitation Game, for how they transition from his childhood up to his adulthood.
Okay.
For me, probably I would like the Imitation Game to win, but I can see what should win is Whiplash, though.
Nice. See, I'm on Whiplash's side too, but I just know that it's going to be crushed by these other people, and I just it's like a dying horse, man. I'm just like, Whiplash, I love you, but they're not going to pick you, so I got to shoot you out of pasture. So
it's so hard.
Man. I know. It really is. So that's adapted. For original, Birdman, Boyhood, Foxcatcher, Grand Budapest Hotel, and Nightcrawler. It's really cool to see Nightcrawler in there. Who should win? Fuck. I mean, this is another tough one between Birdman and Boyhood.
Yep.
Because Birdman won the original screenplay at the Golden Globes. So, who should win? I think Boyhood should win, but I think Birdman will win this. What about you?
I'm pretty much pretty much agree. I think for me, Boyhood should and will win. But at the same time, though, it's a close necktie between Birdman with that. I mean, it's fantastic screenplay. So I mean, but I say I'll get a nod to Boyhood because of the originality of it. You know, because
Okay.
from year to year, you have to write something out and make it feel authentic. I mean, I have to go to give the Boyhood.
Okay. That sounds. I can't argue with that. So, yeah. Sorry, guys, for not going over that, but here it is. If you guys have lasted the 75 minutes up until now, congratulations. This episode has to be long, guys. It just has to. Like, it's Oscar nominations. It's a lot of stuff to talk about. So if you hung in here this long, you are awesome. I'll shake your hand later. So
I give you a cookie.
Terrence will give you a cookie, and then I'll eat it. So here is the granddaddy of them all. Best Picture of 2014 for the 2015 ceremony. And the nominees are American Sniper, Birdman, Boyhood, Grand Budapest Hotel, Imitation Game, Selma, Theory of Everything, and Whiplash. Real quick before we go into this, Foxcatcher was nominated for Director, Screenplay, Supporting Actor, and Lead Actor, yet it was not nominated. I find that kind of weird, to be honest with you. So, it's really weird. So there's that. Gone Girl's not in there. What the fuck? Mm-hmm. Shit. Is there any others that you see that were excluded? Oh, Nightcrawler as well. So, like, what the fuck, Academy? You have 10 potential slots and you nominate 8. Why? But did you guys hear what I just said? Selma was nominated for Best Picture, but was not nominated for any of the acting categories. Screenplay, nothing. The only other nomination it has is original song, Glory. So that's weird. I'm just fucking baffled. The other cool little fun fact: Whiplash, my favorite film, and Terrence's second favorite film. One of the producers is Jason Blum, the psychotic horror mind behind Insidious, Paranormal Activity, and Sinister. That guy is a horror producer boss. And guess what? He produced one of my favorite films of the year. I gotta give him props for doing some diversity. So, with that out of the way, I have not seen Sniper, Selma, or The Theory of Everything. So, out of the 5 I have seen, who I want to win and who I love dearly, but is Whiplash. But I know that I have to break off with it and get into the real world because it's not going to be picked. So I want Whiplash to win. Who is actually going to win? I'm gonna go Boyhood. Now, I think the 2-horse races between it and Birdman, I seriously think Boyhood and Birdman are going to duke it out at the Oscars for almost every category for the most part, except for a few. But I think it's Boyhood's year. I think it'll win. But I would not be shocked if Birdman won. Mm-hmm. So I want Whiplash to win because it's dear to my heart, but I'm about to break it off with it and dump it at the middle school dance and go with the 2 high schoolers, Boyhood and Birdman. Boyhood's going to win, but Birdman is literally touching its ass as it's crossing the finish line. So, Terrence, how do you see this list? Because you've actually seen all 8 nominees, correct?
Yeah, I did.
So you can actually firmly pick a winner.
Yeah. I tell you this, it's not easy. I mean, I think the weakest movies of the bunch is American Sniper, which, for one thing, Hollywood loves Clint Eastwood. Just get that out the way. Theater, everything, that was an okay movie. But this is a tough list though, because Selma, Whiplash, and Boyhood are my top 3 movies of last year, and they're all equal to me. I love them from each for each different reason. Man, I would love Selma to win, and I would love Boyhood to win, and I would love Whiplash to win. I can't pick. This is hard. I mean, Good thing I'm not betting on this.
Yeah, if we were betting on this, I'm sure you and I would probably lose like a mortgage to a house somewhere.
Yeah.
But to be honest with you, I forgot to mention this. I actually do see Selma and or Grand Budapest Hotel actually having an upset. Like it literally is impossible because there's like 4 potential ones that could get this.
Yeah. I mean, dude, man, this is tough. I would say, look, Selma's my favorite movie of the year. I would like to see that win, but I think what will win is probably Boyhood for the sheer fact of how it's filmed and the ambitiousness of it. So I would say Boyhood will win, but Selma's my favorite and Whiplash is my favorite. But so it's like I said, it's tough. So I would say Boyhood will win it, but if I would like any other movie to like upset it, I would say Selma and Whiplash.
Really, you don't think Birdman has a chance at all?
I didn't say he doesn't have a chance. It just I don't know. I mean, it just didn't really. I didn't connect with it as much as I would have liked to. But look, Birdman is a great movie too. But wow, any of that wins, I can say I won't be upset with it. But I think Selma and Whiplash are movies I like more than Birdman though. And Birdman's in my top 10 of the year. I mean, I can't choose. I can't choose though. But I say Boyhood wins it, and I would like Selma and Whiplash for a tie.
Okay.
Why can't it be just a 3-way tie?
Okay, so Best Picture winners are. Wait, what? That would be fucking insane. Like, okay, so if that were the case, that means the top 2 trending things on Twitter would be dick poop and 3-way win at the Oscars.
Yeah, imagine that. Imagine that, though. I mean, look.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah, look, American Sniper, that's going down the toilet. Look, people may call me unpatriotic, but look, it does not deserve to be in that particular category. Birdman is fantastic. Boyhood is a masterpiece. Selma is epic. And Whiplash is just like an intense movie about drumming.
It's literally like if you look at this list, it's kind of got a little bit of everything.
Yeah, it does. It's like you have a biopic, you have originality, you have music. I mean, wow. Look, man, this is going to be a tough race. I can't say at least 4 of these movies that wins Best Picture. I wouldn't mind. Because Whiplash, Selma, Boyhood, and Birdman, fantastic pieces of cinema at its best.
Yeah.
But I got to give it to Boyhood as winning it.
Okay. I mean, it's tough, man. And you know what? To be honest with you, like, even up to the wire, before the ceremony starts, I will still be trying to decide.
Likewise.
Because, they could seriously, I don't know, they could swing towards the Imitation Game. They love biopics. They love Benedict Cumberbatch. They love British movie. Like, shit, dude. Like, that could win. Like, I don't know. Like, fuck Oscars. Fuck you. Like, I'm done. I'm done making my head hurt.
It's tough, man. Because Birdman is ambitious too for the fact that it's long takes, and at the same time, Boyhood. I mean, that's never been done before. I mean, in Selma, man.
Yeah, in Selma, if you think about it, isn't it the first Martin Luther King Jr. movie?
Yep.
So I mean, like, that's historic as well. So like,
in fact, that a woman directed it too. So I mean,
a black woman too. Like it's like even with her being nominated, like that would have changed the game. Like that seriously, like just like when what's her name? Catherine Bigelow. Bigelow. When she was nominated, that was a huge deal. If a black woman was nominated, that would be ridiculous. Like I would be like, oh wow, they're actually progressing towards the right fucking direction. So
exactly.
Because like here's the thing, like even if she's black or a woman, if the movie's directed well, you can't argue that and go, oh, she's fucking black.
Yeah.
Or she's a woman. Listen, well, the whole race thing is a different topic, and if I ever have like a race podcast, I'll bring Terence on because if you guys don't know this, but because you can't see him, but he's black. I am white. I'm sure there's a lot of stuff between races that fuel fires, but yeah, that's just so dumb to me because you can tell that like with David O. Yellowell not being nominated and her not being nominated, it's like really Academy, you're really gonna make it seem like you're prejudiced white people again. Like you're not making your cause like any better. Like you're just furthering the stereotype that like this is what you are.
I mean, and to your point too, it's like what you said earlier. Is like, look, if your movie is nominated for Best Picture, how is it your director not nominated? It's like
exactly.
Look, the movie didn't make itself, and regardless if you're a woman, black, white, whatever, you got to recognize talent.
Well, like, you know what kind of disturbs me is that I think Selma wasn't even in the running for any category at all. The reason why I think it's in Best Picture is because Oprah is one of the producers. I seriously think that she had a hand in kind of like getting it in there. Because think about it, you just said it. If a movie is Best Picture, why the fuck is it not nominated for acting or directing or any of that? So that tells me that the Academy didn't want the fucking movie in the awards to begin with. Yeah. And I seriously think someone had to pull strings to even get it to be Best Picture nominated. So like, yeah, even though
it has to be that good enough to make it Best Picture. Because like you said, look, no other category is it nominated for. But so if it's not nominated for any other category, why is it nominated for Best Picture?
Makes no sense.
I mean, come on. It's like, and also too, Brad Pitt's also producer for the movie as well. So it's like, think about that. So it's like a white man is producing a black movie, which he did for 12 Years a Slave.
Exactly, and that was a fantastic movie, and he deserved that Oscar. But like, so maybe he had a say in it too.
Yeah,
I don't know, but it just doesn't make any sense. But then again, if you really sit back and think about it, with all the stuff that we've talked about up until this point, all the anger that we have for all the stuff that were snubbed or left out, this was a tough year, dude. It was a really good year for film, and there's just a lot of stuff that couldn't be nominated. But I mean, it's a tough year, man. But you know what I like about it? It's still an overall good list of nominees for everything. Yeah. So we're just going to have to sit and find out. And I'm sure I will have either some type of live Oscar podcast or something to do around that time. And since Terence was on me for the nominations, he will definitely be on, if he's cool with it, to be on the Oscar podcast for sure.
I'm more fine with it.
That way I can kick his ass and totally win everything that he disagreed with me on. But
that's a bet.
That is a bet. We will have a showdown, folks, and it'll be magical. It'll be glorious and it will be touching.
It'll be magical for one of us.
Exactly. Okay. And the trash talking has begun, folks. Take out your swords and shields. And I just turned super geeky on you, but that's okay. We're all friends here. But who cares what me and Terence have to say? It's what you have to say. If you guys have any comments on any of the Oscar noms, comment in that place where I upload my voice and let me know. This is running on an hour and a half, so I'm pretty sure you guys want me to wrap this up, which I will. So yeah, if you guys have any comments on the Oscars, let me know. The ceremony is on February 22nd at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That would be 6 Central Time and 7 Eastern Time, which is Terrence's neck of the woods on ABC. So with that being said, let's jump into the box office results for the weekend. Terence does not know the numbers. He does not know anything, and I'm just being honest, so this will be a complete shock to him. Terence, what is the top 5 for the weekend?
Okay. I would say Taken 3 or Taken of Your Money.
Yes.
That comes in at number 1. Number 2, I would say Selma.
Okay.
Number 3, I would say Black Hat. Number 4, I would say Into the Woods. And number 5, what do I put for number 5? What's even out lately this year? Hell, let's put Unbroken.
Terence got none of them right.
I'm like the future Mark Ellis.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Get ready. Hold on to your butts, children, because I'm about to throw some knowledge at you. First of all, let's start with this. Black Hat came in at 10th place with $4 million.
That's it?
That's it.
That's a Michael Mann movie. Wow.
Yep. Unbroken was number 9. Into the Woods was number 7. So let's break down the top 5. Number 5, Selma with $8 million. That's not bad. I mean, the Oscar push did kind of push it a little bit more. But, I mean, it's got, let's see. It made $8 million for the weekend in my... Oh, cool, computer. You're being awesome right now. Well, all right, we're going to go ahead and stall for a second. Listen, if you guys know me by now, when I do stuff live, shit happens. There was the one time where I was doing something and the show actually went off the air for a little bit and came back on. So now that I've pulled it up on my phone because my computer's being dumb right now. All right, so someone made $8 million for the weekend. Domestic, it made, it's at 25 right now on a $20 million budget. So it needs 40 to break even. So not bad. I'm sure the Oscars will definitely help that. Number 4, Taken 3 with 14 million. Domestically, it's at 62. Worldwide, 160 on a budget of 48. Guess what, folks? It made its money back plus some. You dumb fucks. Everyone.
I smell seafood.
Exactly. I smell Taken 4 all over again. Like no, that's actually the title. Taken 4 all over again. So why, folks? Why? Go see Selma. Go see Whiplash. Anything else but that. All right. So
Boyhood's back in theaters. Check that out while it's still there.
Seriously. Number 3, Paddington with 19 million. And domestic, it's got 19. Worldwide, it's got 141. I don't know what the budget is, but 141 for opening weekend. Fuck, you can't beat that. So, number 2, The Wedding Ringer with 21 million. And that's how much it's made so far. There's no worldwide numbers on a budget of 23 million, so 46 to break even. It's got a little bit to go. It'll probably make its money back because Kevin Hart is a darling. And I want to see it. I like Kevin Hart. So number 1.
I think I know what you're going for.
American Sniper. It made... I love the suspense because Terence is wondering like how much it is. Number 1 with $90 million.
Are you
If you guys can see the look on his face, it was totally fucking worth it. The whole hour and a half podcast, worth it for that moment. Not even joking. It made $90,205,000 on its worldwide opening weekend. It has made worldwide $118 million on a budget of 58. It's almost broken even.
I'm surprised, but then I'm not surprised at the same time.
I seriously think the Oscars helped push that into stardom. Yeah. Holy shit!
Even when I was watching the Golden Globe, and you had 4 commercials of American Sniper in the hour. So it's they pushing that a lot, and of course the Oscar nominations has helped that tremendously.
It broke all January records without a doubt. $90 million. That's almost. I want you guys to put this in perspective. That's almost as much as The Amazing Spider-Man 2 made on its opening weekend, Captain America 2, and Guardians of the Galaxy. It was around that ballpark, everyone. What the hell? So, I'm going to see it because it's on the Best Picture nominee list. I have to see it for all 8 purposes, but holy shit, man. When I saw that this morning, I was like, this is a typo, right? It's 19 million, right? Or something. What? Yeah, 90 million, Terrence.
90 million.
Yep. 90
million. It proves that people still love Clint Eastwood.
Yep.
90 million.
90 million. 90 opening weekend.
90. I mean, wow. like I know when I went to go see it back in around Christmas time or whatever, the theater was packed. So it's like, I mean, 90 million. Look, the movie, it's okay. It's okay. It's all right, but I'm probably gonna get hate for it or whatever. But I don't care. The movie's not. It's not worth Best Picture. I mean, look, I'm glad it make money at the box office, but it's not a great movie. It's not a great movie. But 90 million, hey, kudos for you, man.
Seriously, yeah. I mean, and I've always said this about very smart producers, and that goes with Michael Bay. Listen, if you can open up your movie with a shit ton of money, obviously you're doing something right. So yeah. I can't really complain about it because, for one, I've not seen it. So, but I will see it, and I will tell Terence what I thought about it later on down the road. But, guys, I think you've had enough about me talking and killing your eardrums. So that will do it for this week's episode of this podcast. Terence, I want to thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Yeah,
that's ever.
Yeah, that was a long discussion. Like, that was totally worth it, though. I mean, guys, it was the Oscars. This is a movie fucking podcast. This is like the Super Bowl day, okay? When the Oscars come out, I'm sorry, but we have to talk about it. So,
sure.
Yeah, and like Terence is cool with it, so he will probably be on. Actually, he will be on since we did the nominations for the Oscar show when that is at the end of February. So, but until then, Terence, where can the peeps find you online?
You can find me on YouTube under Terence P or just Terence Page Reviews on YouTube. You can find me on Twitter at Mr. TPJ, at Mr. TPJ, and also you can find me on Letterboxd under my name, Terence Page. So you can find me all on YouTube.
All right.
YouTube, Letterboxd, Twitter.
Yeah, please go follow him, guys. Like, he's worth it. I only subscribe to like 10 or 15 movie reviewers. He is one of them. Check him out. So that will do it. Like I said, guys, I want to thank you for joining me. I love you all. If you wanted to follow me on this here Spreaker, it's just click that follow button. You can update us on live shows on when I do these bad boys, when I post them, whenever you want to view them. I'm also on iHeartRadio for a bigger audience, which is cool, so I get to infect more people with my voice. If you guys want to follow me on my Twitter, it's at RealChaseLee. YouTube, it's Shabutnik75, capital S, lowercase HABOOTNIK 75. You can find movie reviews, web series, short films, what have you. If you want to like my Facebook page to get up to dates on live shows on when I do these things, record, upload, whatever, it is facebook.com/Real Reviews with Chase Lee. And also, guys, I am also on We Live Film YouTube channel. I do a weekly segment there, Can't Breathe Comedy. Check that shit out. If you guys want to see me go unleashed R-rated, that's it right there. So, yeah, guys, that's a good wrap-up. So, I want to thank you guys for listening once again. If you lasted this long, holy shit, you guys are awesome. I love you all. You guys keep me going because, listen, this is a competitive field. There's a lot of movie podcasts out there, but I'm glad that there's some people that listen to this. It keeps me going. It makes me want to do more. So next week is the last week in January. I don't know what I'll talk about, but you guys know the rules. I'll pick up whatever is popular that week, movie review, news, whatever, and I will talk about it. So I am going to see you guys next week. I don't know where I was going with that. So, yeah, thanks for watching another episode or hearing another episode of Reel Me In: a movie podcast. If you guys are listening to this at night, have a good night. During the day, have a good day. And if you're listening to us while taking a shit, it's okay. I still love you. I just will not shake your hand. So, with that being said, I'm Chase Lee. That is Terence.
How you doing, guys? Thanks for listening.
All right, Terence.
Oh, happy birthday, Chase Lee. I mean, it's an early birthday, but depending on when your fans hear it, happy birthday or happy early birthday.
Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. I will always do these podcasts regardless of what holiday's around. So I will see you guys next week for another episode of Reel Me In: a movie podcast. Peace out, everyone. Goodbye.